Well, guys, what can I possibly say? It's the evening after the day before, and all I can say is I've been in. I wouldn't say I've been in shock all week, but I've been sort of savouring um, that win sort of all weekend. I am going to be honest, it didn't surprise me as we're about to talk about the game that happened obviously on Saturday, and the final score was Walsall 1 and Grimsby Town 3. And like I've just said there, the result does not surprise me. Maybe the way we dominated after the first 10 minutes or so. I'm going to give you a little bit. It felt like a little bit of a comparison, and I'm going to tell you what I mean towards the end of this review. What I mean, but what we'll do is we'll talk about the game as a whole. You know, the first few minutes of the game, Walsall were on top, rightly so. So much so, I will give you the team that started for the Mariners. Jordan Wright, Harvey Rogers, Lewis Cass came on for Doug Tharm, and Cameron McJanet, Svan Thorson, McEachran, Curry and Hume, with Karen Green, Jaydon Luker and Danny Rose up front, of course. Well, all I can say is the Walsall team was Simkin, Akagbu, Williams, Allen, Connor Barrett, Jellis, Stirk, Lakin, Liam Gordon, Ellis Harrison and Albert Adoma. And the bench for the Mariners, of course, was Callum Ainley, Luca Barrington, Jake Eastwood, Dara Burns, Curtis Thompson. Toure finally made the bench guess of Toure, and Terrell Warren. Keep him in mind. And like I said, in the first 5 minutes or so, there was some good football played by Town in the first few minutes. Looking good, passing the ball around well, and really been on top the first few minutes, and then it was sort of like a break in the middle for Walsall, which they were known for when they played us, well, the last two times really. And it was a great ball through by Albert Adoma, or as they call him, Uncle Albert. It was a cracking ball through for Ellis Harrison to run onto. I thought he went a little bit wide initially from where he was going to be, but he really did drill it past Jordan, and Jordan stood no chance with that. And so Walsall took the lead, and as the league leaders, they were getting. Maybe they thought, this is where, maybe our upturn starts to come again. But the Mariners, what can I say about us? From then on, from about the 10th minute onwards, Grimsby were pretty much bossing it. There was some good link-up play with Svan Thorson, and McEachran. Corey was showing his edge in there. Lewis Cass was being a little bit, a little bit unsure. He'd not played for so long. Obviously, that was a little bit of a concern. He was a little bit shaky, I must admit. But Walsall very nearly scored a second when Albert Adoma sort of lobbed Jordan Wright, but it went wide of the left-hand post. But on 21 minutes, Grimsby Town got back into it. A nice sort of training ground move. It was a free kick just outside the 18-yard box. And it was sort of a nice short pass by Yasin. Jaydon picked it up nice, took a touch, put it onto his right foot, it looked like, and sort of drilled it, and it had to go through pretty much the Walsall wall. It got sinking, obviously scrambling, and was a bit unsighted, and it beautifully went right in the corner, and it was a great goal for Jaydon. That was his second professional goal after his goal at Accrington, and really Town just got stronger and stronger and stronger as the game went on. They started to really dominate. Danny Rose was quite nonchalant through most of the game. You know, he didn't really do much actively in regards to as in goal threat, but he was a troublemaker. He put the pressure on Williams and Kagbu, things like that, and whereas Kieran Green just being gritty in the middle when we needed him to be. George McEachran playing the simple balls. Walsall was starting to make a few mistakes with the passes, the simple passes, and it kind of what led to Grimsby Town second. Unfortunately, we did have to replace Lewis Cass on 40 minutes. Terrell Warren did come on. He's obviously I think it was his knee, and so obviously Terrell came on and replaced him. Shame for Lewis, because this was his chance to try and prove himself, but Terrell Warren came on, and it just shows you again what it's like if you take on defenders. Every time Grimsby have done that, we seem to have got some. I can't remember as many times in a season that Town have had so many penalties so close. It's because we've got wingers like Yasin and players like Terrell that are prepared to come in and take a player on, make them make the challenge. And in the end, the challenge was made. By Lakin, I believe, and it was a penalty. A lot of Walsall fans were saying that, he got the ball, but at full speed, if you actually looked at it, Terrell Warren got clipped, and Terrell went down. No one could really argue, and it was down to Mr. Captain Fantastic, which is what Danny Rose is starting to become. And I've not seen him strike a penalty as good as he did on the 44th minute. It was high in the top of the net, high in the top and in the corner. And as David Artell said in his post-match, two goalkeepers weren't saving that one. It couldn't have been more in the net than that one was. And the Mariners obviously went in 2-1 up to the good at half time. And going into the second half, no subs were made second half by David Artell. Obviously, 2 was made by Matt Sadler, but Artell didn't make any at half time. And pretty much it was all Town again. Svan Dawson being again a real troublemaker, so really, really causing them issues. Denver Hume, you could tell they were wary of Hume, wary of Hume's delivery, and they just weren't sure, and their passing was still loose, This I basically said, and I basically think this wasn't the Walsall we played in October. Definitely not. But I always felt, even when we went behind early, always felt we were going to win this because of how good we've been away, and we continued on. Throughout the half. There was changes made. Obviously, in 70 minutes, Curtis Thompson came on. Callum Ainley come on near the end. So did Darragh Burns and Luker Barrington. And every sub that made a difference. But before all those subs came on, Town did extend the lead with an absolutely beautiful ball played by Kieran Green, who can pick a pass out, the boy. Not only is he that gritty, sort of nasty play in the middle when you need him to be, he can pick a ball out. Now, I'll tell you something. It was a superb ball that split the Walsall defence for Jaydon Luker to run onto, and to say he's only about a 19-year-old lad. He finished this one off like he was a 33-year-old seasoned striker. He ran through the Walsall defence with a perfectly placed ball by Green, and just got in there, kept his calm, and just slotted it past Simkin for 3-1, and it was game over. That was probably one of our best performances overall. We fell behind early, and then we were able to rebound. We're starting to find some rebound stuff. It wasn't over there though, because after Jaydon's goal on 66 minutes, again we just kept on top. They were getting a couple of throw-ins. We maybe got a couple of calls from the referee that in at half that maybe should have been Walsall's, but I'll admit. But at the same time, when it's your team, you always take them. I'm sure Walsall wouldn't have complained if it had been the other way around, and we just kept Walsall at bay. After the third goal, the heads went near enough completely. They sort of had nothing left to give, and we very nearly scored a fourth, and probably should have scored a fourth just before full time, when we picked the ball from a Walsall corner. It sort of landed. It landed loose. The ball was played for beautifully again. I think it was Greeny again, and Luker Barrington, who had been one of the substitutes, ran onto it, and he was one-on-one. He was one-on-one, and he tried to go round Simkin, got round him, but then his touch took it away from him, and he ended up, as I saw people say, in the loving embrace of the Grimsby supporters behind that goal. So unfortunate to not make it 4. To be fair, Town could have won that 4-5. It really would not have flattered the Mariners at all. We were absolutely superb. And I think, but not surprising. Like I said, not surprising at all, considering how good we have been away from home this season. And they're not the first team that's been top of the table, where the Mariners have gone and actually won against the top of the table. We did it at Gillingham back in October. So, but this time when we went behind, I always felt like we were in it. There's been other times this season where I've gone, we're not in this. This one though, I always felt we had more than Walsall. I always felt that. and boy did the lads show that. I said there's some similarities, and I compared this win to the win that we got over Walsall in 2018 under Michael Jolly, when it kind of went in that same kind of mantra, really. Walsall scored early that day when it was Kane Lavery for Walsall, and then, we got 3 goals due to Elliot Whitehouse and 2 from James Hansen, a header and a penalty. Well, obviously different kind of moves, but exactly same kind of way that we played. With Luker getting 2, obviously, shall we say, playing the James Hansen role, and Danny Rose getting the penalty that that we also got that day. So it was near enough a like-to-like performance, but about 8 years apart. Well, no, sorry, about 6 years apart. No, 7 years apart. And it was then a spitting image of that. Literally about a minute or 2. But overall, I think that was a better performance than we had in 2018. These lads, they're starting to click, and you can tell they're starting to believe in Artell's way of playing. And he did mention in his post-match about freedom. He also said, I'm not going to really have a go at the lads for trying something different. Apparently the free kick wasn't exactly how they'd set it up or planned it, but he said the lads aren't afraid to try something. And I think that is one good thing that Artell's done. He's kind of giving the lads the freedom. You can see that, especially over maybe the last... Really, I've seen that maybe in the last month and a half. Well, since January. You've seen him sort of... I wouldn't say let the shackles off. But since then, we've looked like... if you're going to beat Grimsby, you're going to have to play really, really well to do it. And to be fair, they did look like they played with freedom. We played with belief. Great to see Jaydon get 2 goals in the game and playing alongside Danny Rose, who, to me, I know it's early, but he's already becoming a Grimsby Town legend in regards to what he's doing. People were saying he was hardly in the game. He was hardly in the game from one aspect, but my God, everything he sort of did, he gave their defence one heck of a problem. And Jaydon with his pace, I'm so pleased and buzzing for Jaydon to get his first 2 goals. First brace really, not his first 2 goals, but his second and third goals for the club and of his career. I'm so pleased for that. And, again, Yasin doing an absolute fantastic job again, especially down the wing. He's really, really coming into his own. Asked by a fan in a video as well about the loanees. Excuse me, I needed that. About the loanees, and I remember saying on the bottom of his video that I would say Jaydon Luker. If we were to have a look at anybody, I can't see it coming off, but you can see the potential in Jaydon, and it was just a great win, and it basically leaves the league table as it was. Town are still in 8th on 56 points. Crew are behind Crew on goal difference. That's because Crew got a 1-1 draw. Again, that was always bound to happen if they just got a result. And all I can say is are we playoff contenders now? Do you know what? I'm gonna pull the trigger a game early. Yes, we are playoff contenders. I say that. I'll say that. If we can get either a win against Notts County, who aren't in the best of form at the moment, or just get something against Notts County, you can't say Grimsby are not. You know, so I know I said I'd say it after 10 games, but this is a rearranged one. 10 games ago, we are. Even I can't look at that and go that we're not. We are playoff contenders. I wanted to say that probably for a little while, but like I said, because we're about to hit the running part, why not go for it? We're goal difference outside it, and hear me to be extra positive, we're 6 points outside the top three. So, and with a game in hand on that. So, it's, I still think the game against County is an important one. If we can get a win there, then there's no question. No questions asked that we will be definitely playoff contenders then. But I'm going to be honest here, guys, before I finish. David Artell is proving me wrong. And I have absolutely no problem in admitting that. Not just because we're near the playoffs, but, I think we're going to finish definitely above where even I said we were. David Artell's proving me wrong. And, I think that's why he's a manager and we're not. He's got something out of the lads that they didn't have. We've now, ladies and gentlemen, we've now got a level goal difference. We haven't had a level goal difference all season, and it's took us 35 games to get to a level goal difference. And that, again, that's the reason why we're outside the playoffs, because of our goal difference. But, the game against County is going to be a big one. That will cement my thought in playoffs if we can definitely get a result at home to County on Tuesday night. But what a win. That's Port Vale we've beaten. That's Doncaster we've beaten. That's Walsall we've beaten. We've done the... you look at the teams in the top... in the top 10 that we have beaten. And we've still got a few tough games to come as well. But David Artell is proving me wrong. And like I said, I'm not afraid or ashamed to admit when I'm wrong. We'll see where we finish. But the team are playing great. It's a fantastic win over the league leaders. We actually dominated the league leaders at their place. And to do that, it's like... When I say marquee win, that'll make the league stand up and take notice of Grimsby. Where people are going to have to start talking about Grimsby. Because to get a win over Walsall, in the last month or so, beating Walsall and beating Doncaster, two of the top three teams in the division, I think teams have got, I think quietly we're going to be, quietly confident. But I think people are going to have to look at Grimsby, especially if we get a result Tuesday night. I said we need to probably win one of the next two. We'll see what we do at County. But, yeah, I think people are going to have to start taking notice of Grimsby Town. And I think, again, I'm not going to get carried away, but I have to admit that Artell's proven me wrong. You know, we are going to finish, I believe, above, you know, where I said, but there's still 11 games to go, you know, so as long as we don't fall off a cliff completely, who knows where the season could be. But that's my view of the game. Another 3 points in 56 points, by the way. 56 points, right behind Crew. We've still got Crew to play as well. Well done to the 757 fans that travelled up. It was an early kick-off. It was an early start for everybody travelling up there in the sunshine. It was obviously nice to see that, and it was a pleasure to watch. And the lads made us proud. And who knows what they'll do between now and the end of the season. But again, I'm just going to say we don't want to get carried away. I'm not going to just yet. But, you know, a result on Tuesday, go crazy. You know, it's pleasing to see. If you went to Walsall, let me know what you guys thought. If you watched the game like I did, because unfortunately I couldn't get there. Unfortunately, I think it's only the second time in the last 5 years I've missed the Walsall game. But let me know what you thought down below, and how are you feeling about this so far? I'm kind of in disbelief, but like I said, I'm proud to be being proved wrong at the moment, and I'm honoured to hopefully say at the end of the season I've been wrong. Who knows? But you know, 6 wins out of our last 8 games. You know, that's incredible. 51 goals each either way. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below. What did you think of it? And are you can Town do something now in the last few games? I'll wait till after Tuesday, but yes, I can't deny it. With us being 4 points ahead of Colchester, I can't say that we aren't a playoff contender. I've been reluctant to say that, but I can't not say it. But Tuesday night, I think if we get anything, we'll cement that. I honestly think that. So leave your comments down below. What did you think of the game? If you're at Walsall, let me know your thoughts and what you thought of the game from your view. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment, leave me any sort of comment you want me. Even if you said, I told you so. I'll take it. I'll take it. I've got broad enough shoulders. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we move on to Notts County on Tuesday night. I'll be back Monday with a preview for Notts County. In the meantime, I will see you shortly with another video. In the meantime, guys, up the Mariners, and 8th, and a strong 8th in results. So I'll see you guys soon. Up the Mariners, 8th. Can't believe we're 8th.